Yeah.
You're freezing.
Well, hello. It's Friday night, and the feeling is right. We got Eric Esol here, and thank you, AP and Tracy, for showing up. And we are inviting Reconnaissance Study Group and some of the other groups if they want to join us. Everybody can share the link, but we're just gonna go. I guess we're alive. So, we don't have any script or anything. We kind of all
Yay!
fly off the cuff and just whatever comes up, we talk about. One of the things that I really been wanting to do for a long time is play a game. So I got my Bible trivia cards here, and I thought it might help us if we maybe just answered a couple questions while the other people are trickling in, if there's going to be anybody else coming in or not. But that's something I've been wanting to do. I think it's going to be fun, and we can also learn from some of the ancient texts. So I'm going to start off with something from the Old Testament. So if AP or Tracy or Eric, you guys know the answer, I'm not going to answer because I got the answers on the other side here. But let's see if anybody knows. And should we just blurt it out if we know it? We're not gonna, mute our mics. Let's open up those mics so we can see who can tell the answer. Okay, so Old Testament. Out of what did God make man? Anybody know?
Dust.
Yeah. Very good, Tracy. Dust. He made Adam.
Dust of the earth.
Uh-huh. Okay, so history and geography. In which country did Joseph die?
Ooh.
In what country did Joseph die?
Mm-hmm.
I pass.
AP, do you know? I think Eric needs a phone a
I'm
friend.
not remembering if it was.
Eric needs to phone a friend. Okay, we know who Joseph is, right?
No, I'm just trying to remember if it was Egypt or not.
Yeah, that's the answer. You got it. Yep. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like the Prince of Egypt. And well, we're thinking about
Right.
you guys thinking about Moses for a second, but Joseph. My background is too loud. Oh, okay. I was reading a little thing. I gotcha. Remember Joseph when he was the coat of many colors and his brothers sold him into slavery, and then Pharaoh
See,
eventually
I was
the manager of Egypt because he interpreted
I was going back and forth as to which Joseph you were talking about.
You were thinking maybe Mary and Joseph. All right, so
yeah, and then I was like, wait, Old Testament, hold on. So, all right.
okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Because there's a couple Josephs in the good book.
it's been a while since I've been playing this.
I think it's fascinating what Yeshua did for those 17 years that he was not in.
Well, I don't know
Israel or
do you know what
or
PM?
even that.
You know what PM means on these cards? Prophets, minor prophets, maybe? Okay, so let's move on. Who called Moses?
No, I don't.
Who called to Moses from the middle of a burning bush?
I am.
Yeah, that's a good one. You got one, Tracy?
Yahuwah?
Yeah, yep. The creator, yeah, exactly. Some people call him God. Exodus 3:4. I'll put the references on these. I should have put the reference on the other one. Dust was Genesis 2:7, and Egypt was Genesis 50:26. Okay, we're only going to do one card, so I was just waiting to see if other people were going to trickle in, but all right, LNS, letters, numbers, sequence, I think. On which number of the 7 days of creation did God create the sun, the moon, and the stars?
Mm. That was the second day.
Times, no, it's the fourth day. The fourth day. On the fourth day.
Oh,
Genesis 16:19.
The fourth day.
It says from Genesis 16:19, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now let me see. New Testament. Who asked Jesus, Yahusha, to perform his first recorded miracle?
His aunt.
Yeah, where was it? What was that first miracle?
The wedding in
Yeah.
Cana, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But I don't remember anything about an aunt or an auntie. It's his mother, Mary.
I thought it was his aunt.
No, it was his mother. It says
Because it,
Mary, the mother of Jesus, John
know,
2,
or
1 through 11. I
oh,
don't
okay.
know. Now you're thinking maybe her cousin, Elizabeth, who was pregnant, like John the Baptist mom? Because I don't know nothing about any sister.
I'm trying to remember because the one of the disciples told a story about the wedding that was different than the other disciples. So there was a little more detail. But I could have sworn it was like an aunt or something. But
Mm.
yeah, at the wedding, his mother came to him because they were running out of wine, and she asked him to turn the water into wine
She said,
for
do
the wedding.
something.
That
Do
was the first
something. It's embarrassing.
miracle that
Yeah, and it was interesting that he used those ceremonial 6 feet tall jars that those religious people were using for their holy water.
vessels.
Yeah.
Vessels.
Mm-hmm. Kind of
Yes.
like it's like a man in a way.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about vessels that I think people just don't want to like talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
We're one
really
of them.
need to like just
Oh, that's a good one.
accept that and look at it.
I think we should go
Like
with that for our topic. We want to talk about charters, vessels, and EINs.
mm,
Don't you think this is a good
yes.
segue? I think this is a good segue
So
because you said vessel. That was the trigger word right there.
yes,
So
vessel
I think we need to know
and
about that
yeah,
kind of
go.
stuff. So let's talk about that kind of stuff. Should I be like going on the web somewhere and looking up something, or you want to explain?
Well, okay, so Uh, it depends on where do you want to start as far as looking at vessels, right? As far as charters go,
Hmm.
and my understanding at this point, everything going on out there is about a charter,
Should we
right?
find
And
charter?
there is to really uh, uh, like we should there is in Cornell, I think it's let's see here, there's I think it's 36 and 46 has to do with vessels like shipping and chartering. Hold on, while we're talking
Look
here,
up
I'm going to
something.
do
Let
my
me,
phone
should I
here.
Google Bard,
uh,
Bard Google and look it up? And then I'll share my screen.
yeah, you could say like uh, charters, and then there's also as far as the laws of ship owners, like vessels
Oh,
and
okay.
ship owners, right?
Let's use
Because
AI.
that's what's going on.
Let's use
Charters go back. So to be clear, for an example, what was the Declaration of Independence? It was the independence of charters that we had with the East India Company and King George, right? The 13 colonies were chartered out the ass. and we owned nothing. We had no rights, right? So the Declaration of Independence was the breaking of all those charters.
Let me turn
Right.
off my phone.
So
I don't get all these
then we started, like, Social
Oh.
Security was the first main corporate charter, right, that we started doing when, the New Deal, so to speak, with Roosevelt and Social Security and welfare and all these other wonderful things, which are benefits and privileges, just like civil rights.
People are having trouble getting in.
Unalienable, inalienable.
Sorry.
You're not getting in? All right. Hold on.
I was
Let me
letting
see.
Joe wants to get in, but he couldn't get in. He said he needed the password. I need code to the convo itself to input into my Zoom app. All right, let me look really fast. Sorry to interrupt you on your flow there. Let me see.
Here, let me read this to you.
JP.
What is a charter in government? Right? An instrument that establishes a body politic or other organization, or that grants rights, liberties, or powers to its citizens or members. Charter of the United Nations is the first example it gives, which but yeah, like Social Security Administration, that is a charter. The main charterer is Social Security Administration. It is an offshore account. And, I mean, we could test on this, but, the Secretary of the Treasury of Puerto Rico is over those accounts. And so your account, wherever you have an address, right? No care of the normal federal address. Well, there's an address that looks just like that in Puerto Rico that says your Social Security person lives there, right? And it's your address, all capital. Everything is capital, right? So my 56F that I did, it says the 56 actually that I did for my Social Security vessel. It says on it, like, true residential address, port, USSS, chartered mortar main, Treasury, Puerto Rico. That's where the account is, right? It's offshore banking.
Can I stop you?
That is the reason that Puerto Rico could never be a state. Sure.
Sorry, but I was trying to give people the password to get in, and I think AP's taking care of that, which is great. But I wanted to address whatever we're seeing right here that we looked up. If we could maybe just gloss over this first, and then if you have something,
Yes.
then
Sure.
we can go over that, because I think that it's easier sometimes when people can see something if you're talking about it. If you're just talking about stuff that is beyond us, we're going to all be
Right.
lost. So just wanting to, we looked up on here, barred Google, definition of a charter. So I'm just going to read this for a second just to see what this says. The word charter has several meanings. And I'm going to see, no, I can't. I was going to see if I could open it up more, make it bigger. Oh, there we go. The word charter has several different meanings, but they all share a common theme: a document, there you go, or grant that outlines the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of something. So that's what you were talking about when you said the Declaration of Independence. So I'm going to read on a little bit more just so that we can get the definition first. and then we'll talk about.
And like, remember that, like, you're never the charterer, ever. You're the
Here are the
chartered,
most common types of charters.
right?
A document
So this,
that establishes an organization. This type of charter is often used for
right,
corporations, universities, and other institutions. It typically defines the organization's purpose, mission, and values, as well as its powers and limitations. So to me, that's kind of like a mission statement for a business or an organization. That's like a mission statement in a way. Let me see what else it says. A document that grants certain rights or privileges, like you were talking about the Declaration of Independence or maybe the Bill of Rights, right? A document that grants certain rights or
right.
privileges. This type of charter is often used for cities, towns, and other municipalities. It may grant the right to self-government, the right to levy taxes. Maybe that's what you were talking about, the IRS. Or the right to own property.
That's exactly what I'm talking
Okay, let's move on
about.
one more here. It says, a document that outlines the rules of an organization. This type of charter is often used for professional organizations, clubs, or other groups. It may define the organization's membership requirements, its election procedures, and its code of conduct. You know, it sounds like the United States when they talk about their elections, procedures, and their code of conduct. Here's another one. Oh, this goes on. Oh, you're going to like that next one.
It's often used for shipping and
A
transportation.
document that outlines the terms of a contract. This type of charter is often used for shipping, transportation, and other services. It defines the rights and responsibilities of both the provider of the service and the customer. And then this one right here, hey, last one. In addition to these formal definitions.
Wait, pause. So
Yeah. Yeah.
You've given examples now of, like, so we're talking shipping, transportation, municipal services, right? You've already read those definitions now. They've given 4 definitions of charter. It covers all the things out there that you have to deal with. All the businesses you deal with has been explained as a charter in 4 different definitions now.
And here's
Right? You
the
see what I'm
last
saying?
part. Here's the last part that says, in addition to these formal definitions, the word charter can also be used more informally to refer to a course of action or a set of principles. For example, you might say that you are on a charter to improve your health, or that you believe in the principles of the United Nations Charter. Now,
Ugh.
no, I don't. But
No, I don't love that charter.
That's just what this says, but go ahead.
So
You can take it away.
So you could also, if you want to ask Google Bard to give you an example of laws of charter.
Okay.
But we can also just bring up the 40th Congress, second session, 249, 1868.
40th Congress.
40th Congress.
Okay. I didn't get the rest of those things, but you think that it will show up?
40th Congress, second.
There you go.
Second session, 2-2 session, and then 249. So it's session 249. It was later to be known as the Expatriation Act.
All right, let's see if it just comes up with that. They'll be like, session 249, what's that? Yeah, well, I thought it was gonna, okay, tell me again, what was the first part?
40th Congress, session 40th Congress.
249.
Session 249.
All right.
They should be able to grab it with that. If not, we can be
Now
more
I
specific.
understand. You're
But
interested in the 40th United
dear
States.
Lord. Wait, there we go.
Yeah. So the Reconstruction
March
occurred
2nd.
following the
All right,
Civil
the
War.
Reconstruction.
Whoa, impeachment. Yikes.
All right. Are they going to just talk about it, or are they going to actually show I like to look at the actual 40th Congress. They're talking about it. Let's see if they hold on.
Expiation.
This law made it possible for American citizens to renounce their citizenship, formally becoming citizens of another country. It was a controversial measure in the context of Reconstruction, as it could potentially allow Confederates to escape legal repercussions for their actions during the Civil War. Right? But that's after it was cleaned up, and it was the Expatriation Act. It's not the 40th Congress. So, because the preamble speaks about American citizens being in foreign states and functioning in foreign states, and that they had the right to expatriate away from foreign states. And
Oh.
they turned it into something. They made it sound like something else, right? So,
Should I bring that part up? What was
see if you can just Article 4. Yeah, just basically we want to see like the whole thing laid out. Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4. So 40th Congress,
Okay.
second session. No. No, forget Article 4. Just leave it. Just go back there. Erase that.
40th Congress.
40th Congress. Roman 2.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Capital I twice.
Okay. Got it. 40th Congress.
Capital S, small e, small s, period. Sesh.
Okay.
One more S and a period.
I know the computer. Is there any?
249.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Enter.
1868.
1868.
No, do 1868.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if they actually bring it up, or they're going to bring on somebody's commentary on it. See, you can't necessarily really learn the law.
Right.
That wasn't actually a 40th Congress second session. It only had one session. See?
Can you
Based
guys
on your
do it
previous
outside of
questions, it
Google?
seems you're particularly interested in the vote on Article 4. No, just tell Bard, no, I want the whole document.
Okay.
Not Article 4. All of it. We want the preamble, second, Article 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Because that's where you really get to see what Lincoln was saying.
All right. Is that this stuff here? Congressional Record, House Report, Expatriation Act, additional resources. So where are we going with this, Eric? Tell us.
Speeches, motions, votes. I mean, it's like, yeah, we could spend forever on it, but I'm just saying, the document Expatriation Act, the document provides the full text of the law was passed by Congress. So yeah, click on that.
Okay.
Let's just look at that.
Okay.
That's like cleaned up a little bit, but we should be able to get the whole thing. Right? So this is how we have what's called a statutory Caesar clause. CESSER. Patrick Devine said that Caesar was misspelled in the Bible. That Caesar was doing a lot of Caesaring, but it was a different Caesar. That if you look in the law and it talks about shipping and charters, you can seizure your goods back,
Wow.
right?
Interesting.
Capital CESSER. So it should be, hold on, general provisions. Yeah, see, yeah, it's so hold on. Alien citizenship, ownership of lands. Here, why don't you just click on that one? That's chapter 5.
Okay. Alien ownership of land.
Oh, come on.
Should I
Uh-huh.
go to, is that what you want to look at?
If there's anything worth reading, wait, transferred, omitted. Look at omitted.
Okay.
You'll have to
Click
click
on
the
omitted.
hyperlink.
PDF Word format. Open that up. Wait, get sample quick claim deed. No, we don't want that.
I think
No,
advertisements.
it's not telling us omitted. Wait, see notes. Click on notes. See if there's any notes.
What are the notes here?
All right.
Alien ownership of
Related to alien ownership of real estate in the District of Columbia, Section 79 to 81 were from Act March 3rd, 1887, Chapter 340, and respectively 24 Stat 476, which I tell people to read all the time, 477, as specifically accepted from amendment by Act March 2nd, 1897. Right? See, so they kept changing it up. Right? Now remember, this was done the night before they did the 14th Amendment.
Whoa.
Okay? So, like, yeah, I've heard people talk left and right about the Expatriation Act, and I'm sorry, but they had it wrong, like, every time they were talking about it. Like, it's not about expatriating, and you have no part of this country, because Washington, D.C. is 10 miles, baby. They
Right.
try to make it that they have coverage over everything, but they're 10 miles, right? So, and they're not part of the United States of America. And like people keep forgetting that as well. So, you understand about that's the whole point with the EINs. You are separating your living man or woman from your persons. You're taking possession of the legal persons they created, right? So instead of like a lot of people would say, oh, get your foreign granted trust, change the name, make it, make it your own, da da da. And it's like, and I understand that for privacy's sake, but like, I know people that just sent back their social security card. Like, I'm just done with you, right? I want no parts. Like, no, like these accounts, they're everything. So they took all the gold and they created these things, and they were created for our benefit because they took all the gold, right? But then they didn't tell us. So the trusts that they created were based on charters. So, yes, trust law applies, but trusts have been tainted for a very long time in this country. And that's the reason that Patrick Devine used to say, there ain't no effing trust in this country. And I mean that in both ways, right? So, the UCC made trusts not private. It's commercial remedy for a private thing. So anybody can argue with me forever, whatever. Who cares? It is the trust is based off the charter, so it's about the charter, and the main charterer is Social Security Administration. Your Social Security number on the front of your card is the charterer bank routing number. It's their bank number for your vessel. Remember, there first must be an estate to create a trust, right? So you hear left and right. So security is a trust. So security is a trust, right? But it was first a charter, and then they set up a trust. So you go to the indentured trustee of Social Security. That's the charterer trustee. They really have your best interest in mind. You're the chartered vessel. Demanding something from them, do you think you're going to get anywhere? No. Right? So you're taking possession of these names that they created. And yeah, you create whatever, so I mean, your living person is you have to decide, right? And you have to define that, like, your principal, small p, civil curator, ship owner, in their world is your first, middle, last name, all capital. That's your principal capital name. But they tell you the principal is the last name first. That's their chartered entity name. So no, it's not the principal. The principal would be your all capital name, first, middle, last, right? That's the capital principal. But for real, the real principal, the civil curator, the ship owner of your stuff is your first and middle name, lowercase, hyphen, house of, family of, I prefer house, nation of, your last name. Nation of, house, whatever, first letter capital, of small, last name capital. What has the most power in Roman law is all lowercase.
Interesting.
So you have the most power, all lowercase. Your name, your words. But I mean, they try to fight you on that. But then, I stick syntax in there. So, I'm not doing Russell J. Gould stuff. I'm not completely restructuring the entire document and like taking it apart and writing numbers and then making these notes and no, but like represent. I'm sorry. No lawyer is ever going to listen, stop. Just stop. It's represent. And no one can ever represent me. I'm right here. I present myself. Thank you very much. Same with you. Same with everybody here.
Right.
So nobody can represent you. That means you're dead. You've given up your rights. You're an invalid according to the law. So the lawyer is handling things for you. And they speak their own private language. It's called colorable admiralty jurisdiction. So that charter number, we get the estate number. You're declaring that person, Social Security, mortmain person, dead. Right? Which means you're taking control of your vessel. So it's more than being an executor. They tell you it's being an executor to keep you locked into the whole trust thing so that you forget about the fact that a charter is behind all of it. So Patrick didn't start talking about this stuff until way later in the game, right? Like, I've been watching his stuff for 4 years. So, like, it all made sense. As soon as I heard him say it, I was like, yeah. And then, like there is another document that everyone should read that's called Ensuring the Rights of Ship Owners hyphen owner Caesar clause.
Hyphen.
It's a 3-page document.
Okay.
Owner, capital O, owner, Caesar, capital C, CESSER, capital C, clause.
Oh,
It's like blue.
Sure.
I,
Like a Cheshire,
comes up on Google right away.
like a Cheshire cat, Sester Claus. Not like Santa Claus, like Satan Claus.
So no, it's Caesar. It's actually Caesar. It's just, it's the old language, but it's like it's Caesar.
Like is that
Owner Caesar clause. I'm taking my shit back. Caesar. It's mine. I'm the ship owner. Bitches. Now, I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm
hey.
sorry.
Okay,
Forgive
now
me.
you have to answer.
I'll strike that.
Okay,
Okay.
no.
So,
Maybe you get to do it by the
okay.
trivia.
I
Here it
what
is.
I have just
Wait a
worked
minute.
on, I forget.
Stop. We gotta I told you. So who said the following? A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Gonna have to get it right.
Yeah, but what it means is what that verse actually means though is when it's telling you to love another, it's actually telling you to love a living person and not your person in commerce. That makes any sense.
Exactly.
But who
There's
said
always going to be a differentiation between. There's always going to be there's going to be a differentiation always between public and private. So that's why I say, as long as you remember the founding principle of everything is God created man, man created government, government created the citizen. You have to decide which one you are. Are you going to be the citizen that they created, or are you going to be the government that you created?
Exactly.
Because you only have allegiance to one, and that is the creator, unless you sell your allegiance to the creator and give your allegiance to Caesar, which is why Jesus told everyone, render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and render unto things that belong to God, to God. So everything in the public belongs to Caesar. Everything running parallel to that in the private belongs to the creator. You have to decide what remedy you want to use, and it's different for every state.
Well,
that's why there's no one remedy, because there's different remedies. What could be a remedy in Florida may not be the same as in Washington, yet you'll still get a remedy. It just may not be the same thing you get in another state.
The reality that behind the trust and the other stuff is a charter, that everything corporate is a charter, that is a statutory obligation that the charterer pay the taxes and the bills. Okay, it's in there. However, if you're sort of handling it as far as it's shipping, but you're not, right? So I'm talking about these vessels. I've addressed this stuff. So what is about to go out is a brand new power of attorney, in fact, but it's also a private power of attorney general, in fact, as well, over everything, including and linking all my fiduciary stuff. Showing my stuff is going to the Treasury as well as the Attorney General. But more importantly, it's going to the Port of Entry Commissioner. So why is that? Because, let's see here. So when you deal with these items, they're all vessels, right? So they have to be brought ashore because they're offshore, because they're foreign state, right? It doesn't change. It doesn't matter what state you're in. They're still foreign state. They're still offshore vessels, right? They're held in, okay, so Social Security and Medicare and your DD 214 are offshore, and that's the Treasury of Puerto Rico. Now, Likewise, in Philadelphia, at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service, your original warehouse receipt of your birth is where that's held, right? So coinky dinky so that's your birth certificate vessel, right? So if you get your foreign grantor trust number, that makes you an American vessel owner, right? So I've been doing my study and I spend my time. See, I like the thing is, like, guys, I've been injured and like I had to like somehow change my life while I couldn't do anything, including drive anywhere or leave my house. So I started doing all this stuff and I did most of it before I could actually leave my house and make it to the post office. Now I can do that, right? But I still can't, like, I can't afford yet to, like, I just had my packages come back that I did for free, for 10-cent registered, for 10-cent stamps, registered mail, right? So they went to the destination, then got sent back and said that I owe $20 an envelope, right? So it's like, so I'm going to go to, so here's the other thing. I've been fighting with my own postmaster, right? So I got all this stuff that shows that my address is care of, right? However, there's a bunch of stuff that they won't change, and the USPS has me in there with a federal address. So I'm going to tell them it's illegal. So I'm going in there with my WA pin. What's that?
You'd have to involve the UPU. The U.S. Postmaster General answers to the UPU, which is the United Nations. He oversees that. They're under the direction of
Absolutely. I had a friend take in their W-8 pen and their other proof that they are. I'm a foreign financial institution now, right? I'm foreign domiciled. I'm not a U.S. citizen, like defined every 6 ways to Sunday. As far as Social Security is concerned, I'm a non-citizen national, right? That was changed like over a year ago, right? So, like, now I'm not handling stuff in the way that I was before, right? As far as those things go.
And whole purpose for for those that are listening, the whole purpose for the UPU is because the Postmaster General has to answer to the UPU because they're the largest contract movers in the whole world. And so they have to operate. The whole purpose of why you want to run through the UPU is because when the UPU has jurisdiction over the postmaster, it allows you to exercise postmaster rights on your own contract, which is why they say always send your stuff through USPS. So because again, remember when anything that's public was private first. So anytime it becomes a matter of trust or equity, they have to move to protect the Cestui Que Trust. That's their number one obligation. Outside of that, they're just administrators of the trust. But once you get them to Article 3, they're on your side because they're protecting the trust that holds your securities. And they know they can be found in breach of trust by withholding those securities for your benefit, because the securities allow you to settle the matter because they have legal title, you have equitable title. When you merge the two, then only then can you complete the transaction. Because once you split the two titles, they keep legal, you keep equitable. This is why it's always every contract you sign, you have to give notice of subrogation to protect your signature, because all you're doing is protecting the equity, because without the equity, none of this goes. So the vessel in of itself, or the straw man, is a dead entity. It only lives because you give it your private credit or your equity. That's the only reason the straw man lives. You're giving the straw man private credit to settle public matters.
Yo, man, it's beyond a straw man, right? It's beyond the trust that you're talking about. But okay, like I'm saying, I know differently because I started there. But what I'm gonna do, and whatever, if I'm told that I need to be quiet about it, well, then I guess I'll be quiet about it. But I'm about to go liquidate my Social Security, so whatever, man. Like, people want to talk stuff or you're going to go do stuff, right? Now, the thing
Yeah, yeah.
is,
I
that
mean,
with
that's
the
the end game.
TA,
Yeah, that's the end
like,
game, is to liquidate your securities, but those securities only exist because you give it your private energy. All negotiable instruments you sign are equitable only because your signature gives it power and energy. That's what you're trying to protect in every transaction. Because
yeah, but
again,
the point is,
title
that you
goes
don't
so
have to, go to such great length to protect it when you understand,
you
like,
don't.
the whole point of we're
Everything
here
is
about talking about those EIN numbers, man. Like, if you have the banker number and you use your thumbprint and you use the banker number, that's all the authority you need. And there is nothing somebody can do with that when you're done with it, and without prejudice, without getting themselves in a world of trouble and facing an Article 3 lawsuit. Right
yeah,
now, I'm going to start
but the
filing liens, man.
yeah,
I'm
but
going
the
to
only
file liens everywhere I
but
can.
yeah, but the only reason they get into trouble in the first place is because that equity is private. It's not public, it's private. That's the reason they get into trouble. It's because they have no control over equity because that's God's domain. Now, anything in their world, which is commerce, that they created, which is the maximal law, he who creates control. They control the system because they created the system. But one thing they can't control is the equity, because equity operates outside that system because it's not theirs to give. God gives that to his children, and those who exercise equity will receive the remedy that God has promised to them. But that's the only thing that you're trying to protect in any transaction, because what they're doing is they're taking your equity and giving you public credit in exchange. This is why I try to tell people it doesn't matter what they give you in exchange. Make sure that the promissory note that you sign, make sure that you protect your interest, and your interest is your equity in that promissory note, because that's the only thing that's worth value. It's the only thing living, and God is not the God of the dead, commerce. He's the God of the living, equity within the vessel. So it doesn't really matter about the vessel or anything else. Protect your equity on whatever that name appears on, because it is your equity that enables them to put those those in the form of securities in that straw man. But you have access to those equities. That's why everything is prepaid. Everything is prepaid because God gave you the
Right,
equity
but
to
why
settle
is
all
it that
accounts.
so many okay, so then why is it that so many are having so much problem dealing with that if everything is
Because
prepaid,
because
right?
they
And it works like that.
because
I'll
because
tell you why.
yeah, because they're
I'll
mixing
tell you
public
why
and
if you'd
private.
like to know.
Well, they're mixing public and
Because
private. You can't
because
you can't
all debt, Joe, is all debt is from the charterer. It's Social Security. All debt is tied to the Social Security number. All of it, everywhere, every bit of debt, all of it. Right? So is a whole bunch of fraudulent money. Right? So then you got real money, you got fraudulent money, you got the Treasury, you got the Department of the Treasury that's the midway between the fraudulent central bank, Federal Reserve Bank. Right? And the only way that the Federal Reserve Bank functions is the middleman that deals with the foreign bankers, which is the Department of the Treasury. Because the Treasury Department, in essence, is private and it's the only real money anywhere. Right? So, like, but the point is that, like, okay, so it's like, all right, well, basically that means that all the bills go back to the charter, right? But they have to be endorsed. They go back to the charterer now, or the subcharter. So that could be the company, right? Or Social Security Administration. There you go, right? There's your bill endorsed. You know,
yeah, but
so
really what debt is, debt I'm gonna tell you what debt really is. Debt is basically equity that wasn't protected. And that gave basically energy to sin, which is death. So all debt is sin. So the only
okay,
redemption can
no,
come
but
from the private
I
side.
understand
So
what you're talking about, but what
uh,
does that look like on paper and as far as doing documents and making this stuff stick and changing your life? I understand
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. I know it's
Yeah.
about equity, but how do
Yeah.
you do that? How do you make that show? It's not just about having like a
Well,
subrogation
no,
letter and
that's the
a
thing.
signature.
It's well, no. Again, that's why you have to use biblical scriptures to express your equity, because you cannot use statutes and codes. You can't serve two
All right.
masters.
Listen, I'm not right
You know,
now. I'm not here to talk about using scripture to get this stuff done with the government, because my experience is that only using some scripture in a really impeccable document with a lot of law has any effect. So I
what
was
have
here
you?
to talk about these numbers. Now, the question is, are we going to do that? Are we going to talk about, like, I hear what you're saying, brother, but it's
Yeah,
not like it's not something we can take action on other than reading some scripture and knowing that we can utilize some of that scripture in one of our documents.
yeah, but we can know, but that's where equity derives. Equity derives basically from scriptures. This is why I tell people, if you're good at reading the Bible, just switch your energy up and figure out when God
All
is
right.
talking
Again,
about
where's
new
the
contact.
solution? What do you show? What are you going to show me that shows what you just said?
Well, first of all, you got to learn the basic principles before you move to the documents. And basic
I,
principles are all private. You have to unlearn.
excuse me.
You have to
What are you
unlearn.
going
You
to
have to
show
unlearn.
me?
First, no, I'm not. I'm telling you that a private process is different from a public process. I'm telling you that everyone that's came on here started learning public processes first before they ever knew anything about a private process. This is not private. Equity is completely private. That means you have to unlearn everything that you learned publicly to deal privately. And to say there's not documents and stuff, there is, but you have to learn steps by steps. You can't just run in there and think, oh, well, I can do this with this and that. No, you got to unlearn everything you learned and then go to the private side and learn the remedies and how they work there. This is why you have the same books. You have equity jurisprudence. This is why you have those books to tell you. So just like they have documents in the commercial world, they have documents in the equitable world too, but they're private documents, meaning that the whole system and how to get remedies there operate different from a public system that teaches public remedies, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Eric, are you still there? I did have to mute him because he was crossing over our brother. You didn't finish answering the question, Eric. I know you're still here. I see you. Eric?
Yeah. Like I said, I have templates and stuff that, again, same thing, things that he's talking about, templates, I have stuff like that. But why would I want to utilize something when I'm still learning the basics and of the basic principles? This is why principles are more important than actually learning things, because the remedies are different from state to state. This is why you have to just be stuck on the principles of things before you can enact an action, because again, the private remedy you get in Washington may be different from the private remedy you get in California. It may be different than the private remedy you get in Atlanta, or you know what I'm saying? They differ state from state. And that's why I made the comment on the group chat, on the actual group, where I said there is no one way to one remedy, because again, different states deal with things a little differently. So that's
So you're showing us an
but even in their, even like I said, even in their,
I'm showing you. This is my form that I did for my foreign grantor trust while on the phone. Right? And then at the end, I put the number at the top that they gave me. Right? So I did an address in Morocco. Right? So that makes me the sole foreign trustee. Right? Of the foreign grantor trust. So I did an address in Morocco on this side, Clara de Hay. So it might, I only own like maybe an inch, but hey, I got some land in Africa, right? It's an inch, but hey, it gave me the ability to use it as an address. So hey, There you go. Right now, Patrick had talked using really messing with the address, your own address, as far as no zip code, foreign address, like no zip code, changing the wording somewhat, and then the mailing address, care of, right? So I did my mailing address, care of my address here. And then, what is it? Type of entity. Trust. Foreign, no TIN. Right? Reason for applying. For tax treaty purposes only. Right? And then none, NA. Check one box that best describes the principal activity of your business. Ecclesial private estate administration. Boop. Right? So I did that, and then in the mail, this came. Oh, now you can't. I'm not on the video.
No, you are.
But
I can see you. Okay.
so it showed up as Eric Robert space Sullenberger TR. Right? So it's Eric Robert Sullenberger Trust. But because they left 4 spaces in between the middle and the last name, it makes it an estate too. Right? So, and then it has my name, Eric Robert Sullenberger, TTEE. Right? So, something that I learned from Patrick was that all these IRS forms are for the charterer. Think about it. Do you ever see owner on any of those forms? Any of them? It tells you beneficial owner. Who's the beneficial owner? Not us. The charterer. They set up these forms so that, you still end up playing in their jurisdiction. So I just redid all my forms with foreign affidavit notarizations and stuff. So, and I'm going to send them all in. Right. So, I don't think there's anything that can't be accepted once these suckers are done, because, I got like the super duper, statements, but I mean, so I looked up foreign affidavit and in Ballantyne's, and we're dealing with a foreign government. They're a foreign state. When we go to do an affidavit, the reason we're doing a foreign affidavit is because they're foreign. We're foreign to Washington, D.C. They're foreign. They're foreign to the United States of America. So instead of doing a regular affidavit, we need to do a foreign affidavit. Otherwise, we're putting ourselves back under their jurisdiction by doing the notarization.
Wow.
Right? It's crazy. There's all these little things, that I, have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. So, the foreign grantor trust is, you can online print it up yourself, and SS, what is it?
SS5?
There we go.
SS4.
SS5, I think. 5.
So is this commerce?
That's a 50.
Is this commercial law? Admiralty law? Trust law?
Yeah. Well, if we're okay, so they say that, because foreign grantor trust, they say it's all trust, right? But it's really about whether you own the vessels or not, right? And it's like, regardless of all these other things that they talk about with these businesses and these companies and stuff, like it comes down to like a charter and vessels, right? So the charterer has the right of usage and beneficial ownership to make a buck off our vessels. They're
Oh,
also supposed to pay the taxes, right? It's their vessels, right? Their banking, right? Their bank number, right? So when you get your estate, then you're taking your vessel back, right? Because you put the Social Security person, said they're dead, right? And showed that. So when you get your estate number, I did that online. Now, it took me 3 tries.
the 98?
Because no, the estate.
Oh,
The 98 was 1 phone call. It took me all of 20 minutes and it was done. It was done, hung up the phone, and then I got the thing in the mail. But I had my own form that I did, while I was talking to her so I could write the number at the top. Like until I got whatever, they don't always do it, they don't always do the words exactly the way you set it up and stuff like that.
Oh.
It can be really frustrating, but
Did you
the
purposely
point is like, yeah,
4 spaces? Did you purposely ask for those 4 spaces on was it your 98?
no, I had asked that my foreign grantor trust, I said, I would like it to be an estate and trust, right? And she was like, oh, okay, right? So she didn't say anything else.
Hmm.
Right. And then she just kept right on moving. Right. And then like I get the thing in the mail, and even my estate didn't have those 4 spaces in between. Right. But my estate says executor on it. Right. So my foreign grantor trust says trustee.
Yeah.
But because I'm foreign, right? So as an executor, if I then wanted to do some financial things, I wouldn't be able to do them.
So do you do the 1041s and you don't ever
I
do
could order them, but I couldn't make them happen.
do you file
What'd you say?
anything? Do you file like the 1041s for estate or trust? Do you do that? Because you're operating.
Okay. I was supposed to file 1041s, right? And I'm watching the Patrick videos, and he was like,
Mhm.
You don't need to put in those stinking 1041 forms until you're doing, until you're sending in a big thing for $100,000. Right. And I was like, word. He was like, hell, you don't even have to send one in once a year. And I was like, so I'm hearing all these people like, yeah, you got to do those 1041s and da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, I didn't do them. I got nothing. I got nothing from the IRS, nothing at all. I sent them my 56 form, my updated 56 form, and another form to the AIQ advisory board like 6 months ago, and they sent me back a letter like, thank you, we received your documents.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, so like obviously it wasn't a problem, for them to be on file like the way that they were, even though supposedly we just can't do that. So I keep learning, right? The documents I've been using, some of them don't work with a lot of places, but none of them were foreign affidavits. And I was doing private. I wasn't even getting them notarized. I was having 2 people witness and just stamp them. And then me sealing them with my bank seal at the bottom of the page. But like,
Okay, I have a lot of questions actually. What is AIQ?
go.
What's AIQ advisory board? and why did you contact them?
Okay, they are the main IRS body that needs to have those fiduciary documents that if they have them, generally, even if a lot of other places don't have them, you're going to be better off. And like, as I was sending out documents and stuff and following Patrick's ways and stuff, after a while, he was talking about making sure about a copy of like the fiduciary documents getting to the AIQ office, the advisory board. So then I looked up the advisory board and I checked it out, and then I, and then I started sending my stuff there. I'm gonna wait to get all this stuff I got notarized. Oh man, it's gonna cost me a lot, man. Like,
Why don't you,
I'm just gonna do the initial package.
so you mentioned earlier that some of the things you didn't have notarized, you had 2 witnesses. Why don't you just do the 2 witness thing? If you're foreign, why do you need to use their, Secretary of State person to notarize?
Because for some reason, if you do it that way, you can't do fiduciary wise what you should be able to do, right? You have to do it according to their rules. Like, it's like they're financial documents for the charterer, not for us, right? They're made by them. So early on, I started really taking under advisement. Like, Patrick Devine was like, go study the law, look at documents and make your own. And I started doing it, and like, I'm really enjoying it now. Like, I'm like, oh, now I got to go check out these 2 writs and somehow take this from that writ and this from that. And then let me go look up this canon law. And then let me try to stick that in there. Right. Like, oh, wait, we're going to drop all that. Forget the canon law. Now we got to come over here and deal with these EINs. But like, as time goes on, I'm starting to be like, yo, like, I want to do some stuff and I want to help some other people do some stuff. And then I want to stick it to the man. I really want to stick it to the man. He's been sticking it to me my whole life and everybody else, right? It's time he got humble pie, right? So just start paying, mofos. You're going to be paying everybody for a long time, right? Everything's going to change.
Okay,
Y'all
now
going to go
you didn't
broke
answer.
and we're going to run the world.
You did not answer your one question from your little demerit cussing.
I didn't.
No, you have to answer. You have to answer one question correctly, or we're gonna do them all. Look at how many I got. It says, "Who said the following? A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you." Think about it.
Jesus.
There you go. You got it. And that's from John 13:34. So in saying that, when you stick it to the man, is that loving?
Yeah.
Is that like the Pope, over at the Vatican doing that kind of stuff?
Well,
Saying, kind of stick it to the man. Are you talking about?
that's later. Okay, so you got a lot of vessels going on over here, right? You got vessels. So you got another copy of your original birth record at the Church of Rome. So it's either held at New York or it's held in the Vatican, but probably in New York, right? So if you have a baptism certificate, then you have another proof of life. But the Church of Rome is holding that original baptism certificate, their copy, like That's their they're using that and your birth certificate for the cestacute, right? But that doesn't have to do with your actual birth certificate vessel, because that's still held in Philadelphia. And like, granted, you would deal with Kansas City, U.S. Department of the Treasury, Bureau of the Fiscal Services in Kansas. However, the birth certificate in particular is over here. So I haven't gotten any word that they moved the everybody born west of the Mississippi over to Kansas City. I believe everything is held in Philadelphia, right? Which makes sense, because underneath all this commercial dead stuff, the original de jure government is from Philadelphia, and it's still there. You know, you have to call Philadelphia to get your 98 number. Your birth certificate is held at the bank in Philadelphia, right? The first post office and the first bank ever were in Philadelphia, right? So,
And
you
wasn't
know,
the Pope recently,
I mean, yeah,
a
the city has
couple
got
summers
really
ago,
kind of ugly in a lot of ways, but
a couple of summers ago, wasn't there a family thing that they had over in Philadelphia, and the Pope from Rome actually came to Philadelphia? And I was like, what do we have to do with that guy? He went to Philadelphia. I thought that was weird. The city of
yep,
brotherly love. Was he showing some love? I
the
don't.
city of brotherly love. Give me your money.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in Jersey. I moved to Philadelphia, and within 3 weeks, I went into town. I had never been in the city, and some guy like got me in an alley, put a huge rusty knife to my throat, took all my money, bunch of other stuff, and sent me home rather upset. And then, like, the following year, I got jumped by like 5 guys with brass knuckles and stuff.
Yikes.
So yeah, it gives you a whole different aspect, right? You know, and then I started taking kung fu
There you go.
and carrying like monkey wrenches and stuff on me, and people stopped messing with me. I see. I didn't have to get violent. I would just smile at them and pull like a big monkey wrench out of my jacket,
You don't
and
have
then
to
put it
use.
back in my jacket, and it worked out great. I never had problems.
You
You
don't
know,
have
it's
to go through Philadelphia to get your 98 number. The IRS website will give that to you.
I like everybody I've talked to. Did you get yours by the IRS website?
Oh yes,
You did,
and very easily. I mean, erecting the trust and getting my 98 number took me like 10 minutes online.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
super easy.
Okay, they must be letting people do it online. Interesting. They didn't even say that on the site when I went on there today. Wow.
You
Well,
have
I
to look
mean,
for it.
hey, if you could, I mean, if you can go on there, I instead of having to call, you know,
Yep.
that the number for the IRS, that number is 800-829-4933.
Yeah, I never called anyone.
Wow. How long ago did you do that?
2019.
Wow. Okay. So I tried in 2021, and I had to call. I
They might
tried
have
for
changed it
like,
since then.
Cool.
I know they gave an option to call, and I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to nobody.
When you do a foreign,
yeah, because
when you
yeah.
do a foreign 98, why did you put Morocco? Are you a Moor, or or what?
No, it's well, it was like it was the one place that I could find some land in a non-Hague part of it's Tamara, Africa or something. Wait. No. Was that
You bought some
Tamara,
land?
Africa? Hold on.
Bought an inch of land there? Or was it a post?
No, you just have to search it out and you have to claim an address that is like could be a spot of land, and you claim the address, and then they send you a thing that you claim the address, and then when you go to do this, when you go to do the trust, they put the address in, and she said, "Hold on a second," and then went, "Okay." So I was like, "Well, shit, it worked. Thank God."
But don't you have to sign
but that
at
wasn't,
penalty of perjury that everything is true on your document?
No, not at all. I put my thumbprint on mine, on my the one that I wrote out, right? But like the one that came in the mail, how long after was it? $11, 5/11, 6 days later, I from the call, I got this in the mail, right? And it told me to file a 1041, like
Yeah, that's what I have.
it said to file a 1041 before they sent me out the form, right? It said file a 1041 on 5/11, but they sent it out on 5/16.
Huh.
So, but so these are SS4s, so not SS5s.
For that 98 number, you need to do an SS4?
Yes. For the estate and the 98, you need SS4s. And you need both. And trust me, you need that estate. You need that estate because you can start handling that debt, right?
I have.
Like all of it. Like that's the way I'm going to be handling it. And they might give me a little flack at the beginning. I'm just going to give them hell.
I have the trust. It's an 86 number, and it said form SS4, and it does have me as the TR and TTEE. This is the only trust, I guess, EIN that I have. I don't have the foreign grantor, and I don't have the individual banker one that Patrick Devine was talking about.
Right. So you need all three.
Is that in
you
order to
need your
debt?
so you'll end up being packing like me in a couple months. So you go from 1 EIN to 4. You have your trust, right? See, then after you do all this stuff and you become a banker, then you make yourself your own fiduciary over the trust. That's what I'm about to do. So when I walk into the bank and I tell them I'm the banker in control of this, yeah, I'm the trustee too, but I'm better than the trustee. I'm the banker in charge of everything that has to do with this name. So here's this. Please deposit this for whatever. I don't know, $200,000. Call me when we're good to go. Please take 100,000 of it and make it silver certificates. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Are those bonds?
But
you make, or are they checks. What are they? What is that? Was that a bond?
Well, if you're using your social security, if you're using your certificate of live birth, it's an instrument. So technically it could be considered a coupon, right? But it is you're doing an endorsement and set off, right? So technically you're doing a deposit or draw, right? And when you do the back side of say an instrument like the birth certificate, you're doing what's called a draft. So you're doing a draft on the back. So like, unlike Patrick's previous stuff that he had some pretty badass endorsements, right? For the stuff. He now says, or at least recently, that you should have a foreign affidavit notary on the actual birth certificate at the underneath your endorsement, so you write your truth about what you're doing, right? So in essence, a birth certificate, your certificate of live birth, is a banknote, and it's also a warehouse certificate, both of which have to do with shipping, meaning they're at a warehouse. Your birth certificate is being held at a warehouse. It's a warehouse certificate. It's being held as warehouse cargo, right? So, you go through the port of entry to get your cargo, right? So, it seems like a little too much like shipping, but it is shipping. It's just shipping with our bodies being the ship.
So it's
right?
not
And
like
hence
those,
you have maritime.
it's not like those porch robbers, right? Where they get a UPS
No,
Amazon package at the door and then somebody just drives by and
no. This is the reality is you're beyond the creator, right? We're the benefactor. They have nothing. They have nothing if it wasn't for us, right? So now you could take it the other way and be like, well, then you're taking advantage of, and it's like, no, you took something that was designed to be something we were supposed to have in place of being able to inherit from our family wealth and value. And then you fucked us with that.
boom.
We can't even get that all right. You can't even shaft us nicely. Sorry.
Okay.
What's
Old
that?
Testament. King Nebuchadnezzar ordered his
Old
subjects.
Testament.
King Nebuchadnezzar ordered his subjects to fall down and worship him whenever they heard what? Whoa. You would know this.
Nimrod?
No, this is King Nebuchadnezzar.
Nimrod?
No, King Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
He ordered his subjects to fall down and worship him whenever they heard what? I'll give you a
Oh,
hint.
shucks.
I'll give you a hint. You often have an appointment in the afternoon to do what? You have a certain talent.
Play.
There you go. What do you play?
Guitar.
And it produces what?
Songs.
And
Music.
yeah, that's the answer. King Nebuchadnezzar
Sound.
ordered his subjects to
What?
fall down and worship him whenever they heard music. That you can find from Daniel chapter 3, 15.
Really? I forgot it was music. I wish it, yeah. That's
So
a good one.
yeah.
Huh. All right.
We're playing a game. This is whenever he cusses,
Yeah, you know,
he has to answer one Bible trivia question. So I told him to
and
stop
then
doing that because I had to change my settings on my I need to do this with Elvis too. Because then I have to change my settings on my
the
YouTube.
question is, how deep do you want to go? Hey, psst.
Well, I'm glad that you have that book. But let's stay on track. Now that we had to do a little
Oh, I have this and four
calm you
others.
down. Had to calm you down for a little bit. So you didn't get all wild and monster on me or animal. Okay, so we were talking about charter in the beginning. And then we went to the EINs and how we have to get
Yes.
the EINs for what purpose? What is
Right.
the reason? Tell me. Are we doing commerce? Commercial?
Okay.
Or what?
So the point is that, okay, so the goal is to become private, right? And I subscribe to Mr. Devine's way of becoming private, which is with the individual banker, because
Oh, private.
it's all banking and insurance. Right. So you're a private bank, an individual banker for a private bank that is nonprofit, which means that it's tax exempt, right? Which means that it's nobody's goddamn business what you're doing, and it's private bank, right? So,
Yes.
if you're a private banker,
Stop. Just a minute.
what?
You blew it for yourself. Okay. Got to get a new card, but here, we're going to do another one. Now, Old Testament. What was Adam doing when God took one of his ribs to make woman?
Sleeping.
There you go. Genesis 2:21. Okay, continue. I'm going to get you every time. Go ahead.
So, you private bank, individual banker, tax exempt. So, nonprofit. You have to do that when you're setting up your private bank, right? So it's about doing the sections properly. So I have that right here because this is the pre thing that I got, right?
Yeah.
Before it like I got this, and then you hit send and you get a confirmation page that it's done, and then you'll get something from the office in black, the long page that folds up kind of deal, right? From them. But I got this for the bank. The estate one somehow I had, but somehow in the chaos of all the broken hip and
Oh,
foot not being able to walk, and I had a whole lot of stuff go to heck that I couldn't handle or do, or stuff got ugly. So I lost some good paperwork. ChayahShalom. What?
These Philadelphia boys got you?
No. I was almost healed with my right foot and this really bad wound that I had on my right foot, and I have drop foot with my left, right? I've had a lot of injury, let me tell you. So I dropped foot with my left, so I started to. I was walking across the room, and like bang, I ended up on the ground, and I couldn't get up, and I was in agonizing pain, and I had to pull. I dragged myself over to my bed and pulled myself up. And my housemate's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "No," but I was like, it just really hurts, And I tried to do all these good things for myself, and like, I got like maybe a day and a half, and I was just like, I called the hospital, and they came and got me. They had to like literally put me on this cart and move all this stuff out of my house so that they could get me out on the cart and into the ambulance. And yeah, I went to the hospital and I broke my hip. I got 2 plates and a rod in the left hip in June. So like in July, I was hopping with a walker, trying to figure out like how I was going to make shit happen. Sorry.
I'm gonna let that one slide since I let Elvis slide on that one. Okay, so where are we now? We were talking about charter. We talked about the 3 EINs. We this
So-
lady that we
So,
have
so the 3 EINs.
told us
So,
about,
all right. So if everything is based on the charter, right? And the fact that even the trusts are based on the charter, and that, you know, when you do like say a private express trust and you do it right, and you're not involving a UCC, it really is trust and it really is equity. And that's a different matter, right? But that's the only time that it's really that, right? The rest of the time, it really has to do with effing charters, right? So it's like, you know, it's this illusion. So I go to the indentured trustee, who's what? The banker, right? The banker trustee for the charterer, right? So yes, you can get some stuff done with them. And yes, you know, the whole thing was setting up your TDA account. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's been cool, but it's been awful. I mean, like, I get my Social Security latest heck on my Treasury Direct card. I have no regular bank account. I can't do Cash App anymore. I might be able to do Cash App it hooked to my Treasury Direct card. I have a Treasury Direct account.
Wait a minute. How do we get that? How do we get the Treasury Direct?
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I ordered Social Security to give me one.
Did you liquidate your Social Security?
No, just to receive my benefits. I said, listen, I don't want to receive them to a commercial bank and interest and all these accounts and have it based on my Social Security number. So, being that this is the home of my Social Security number, so to speak, as far as an account goes, as far as a bank and treasury making it work, bada bing, bada boom, because my Treasury Direct account is Eric R. Sauenberger, all capital. That's my Social Security mortmain name, right? So MORTMAIN. Good word to look up. You have a mortmain vessel as well, right? So right now you have a USSS chartered mortmain vessel. So you turn around and then you say, okay, well, I have my USSS.
It sounds like a ship
Vessel, mortmain vessel.
Like we're going on
Yes,
Gilligan's Island.
exactly. So that's why I said ship owner's lien, right? That's what those 2 other numbers are. They're a ship owner's lien. They're an exemption number, right? So the foreign grantor trust is the exemption number for your birth certificate vessel. And the estate is your exemption for all things Social Security. All things that person, right? So your utility bill comes in your all cap name, don't it? Right? All those bills that show up, they're all that charterer person. So it's like, hey, statutory obligation, y'all. It's I didn't make this up. You guys did. Like,
so I have a question.
I mean, you know, Yeah.
So for the people that do not have their 3 trifecta what is it? Trust, EIN, foreign grantor trust, and
Right.
individual banker. Is that
Private bank estate. Yeah.
why we send the bill statement to some indentured trustee? Is that the replacement? Is that why?
More likely.
Oh,
Well, it's more likely, but the point is that, like, at the very least, everybody, if you're trying to do this and you're using the social security number, you should get the estate, right? You absolutely should do that, even if you're going to wait on the other two, because that is your damn exemption. Like, that's your exemption for all this stuff, right? So when it starts coming your way and you endorse it properly with that exemption number on the back, with the money back at them, and an affidavit by,
I already
you,
have.
and you keep the original. That's a beauty.
I already have the trust EIN
What's
though.
that?
I already have the trust EIN.
No, you have not the, you don't have the foreign grantor trust EIN.
No, I don't have the foreign grantor. I don't have the individual.
Like, I almost don't even care that I have the regular trust. I'm just glad that I did all the rest of the stuff that's part of, like, the redemption manual, right? To get it done, right? I appreciate that. I did age of majority and the copyright trademark, security agreement, indemnity bonds, like, all that good stuff, right? But, like, I just, there's way more stuff happening that functioning as a private banker, and it's like, I would much rather do that and that be my only interface with the commercial world, like, in whatever form, whatever needs to happen. Hi, I'm Eric-Robert Sollenberger, the fiduciary attorney in fact, owner, grantor, mortgagor. Nice to meet you.
Mort.
How can I help you?
What's a Mort Googler?
What is the claim against one of my persons? Because I represent them all. And, pursue any court case, as you can see right here in my power of attorney. So do you want to pursue a court case with me or what? Instead of being like, oh, please, can I? I've been doing plenty of that and writing these letters, like, to this person and then to that person. And then I'm just like, like, I burned a couple documents, I have to tell you. I get angry. I get angry when I'm doing all this work and send this stuff off. And then I get these responses or no response. And I'm just like, oh, I spent months on this, man. Months. So, I
what
burned some
advice
stuff.
do you have? What advice do you have, Eric, for anybody who doesn't have their 3 trifecta?
I would advise that you could literally, over 3 days, if you just got 1 a day, I believe you might be able to do 2 a day. But even if you do 1 a day, you can, over 3 days, bing, 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 and have them. Right? If you file them right, when you do your foreign grantor trust, the mailing address is your address care of, right? So when you do your estate, it's care of. I changed my original trust, even though they put it in the federal thing. I called Social Security. I changed it to care of, right? So everything says care of. So like I don't have an address. I still have them sending me stuff here because the USPS, I hate them. I was talking to the mail lady today. She brought back my packages. She was like, yeah, it's kind of strange. She was like, I guess this wasn't, I was like, look, it was more than enough for this package. Kind of interesting that it went all the way there and then got marked by their post office after going through your post office and on a truck there. Don't you think that's a little funny? And you're trying to keep me on this federal address. That's so basically when I show up there, I want to show up with the notarized W8 private bank, foreign private bank vessel owner that I did. That is just, oh, it's just with these documents that I come up with recently.
We look up
Things are really like increased.
can we look up the those like different numbers of these EINs, how to begin, like the 86 number? or
Yes.
What do you think that would be called? Like EIN number?
Get your tax record.
EIN number?
What are the EIN numbers? Type in that or something like that and see what it says.
EIN numbers. Because I'd like to see what is 86, because I know it's for trust. And it's supposed to be for a business trust too. When I went to the bank to make my account, I said, this is a business trust. They said, well, you have to put it in the newspaper. I was like, hey, you got a private trust? You got to put it in the newspaper to people?
It's kind of weird because I really probably should have put it in the newspaper, but I didn't. And the bank said nothing to me, but it was an 87 number that I did.
What are the EIN numbers? Okay, sort by relevance. Or, yeah, I don't know. How do you go? Okay, where's that lady on iPhone? We need
Hold
your
on.
help. iPhone lady, where are you? Filter by, information for, include art. Oh. What are the EIN numbers? Do I just put a
Yeah.
quote in there? What? It's not-
Just type in EIN number. See if it.
Oh, okay. EIN numbers. I just wanted to know, what are the significance? Like, if I have an 86, does that mean that I can 86 stuff with that? You know what that means, huh? 86, get rid of it. Get it? Haha. Filter by, I don't know. I don't know how to use this website. Include archived content. Okay. Where is there a, oh, is it going to move? I don't know how to use this website.
Here. Just.
This is the
All right.
website. Oh, you want to share your screen? Forms and instructions, credit instructions, refunds. Yeah, that's what I want. Pay file. So, you know, those people who do the 1099A and all that stuff, they have to do the taxes in order to get their refunds. You know, so those are the people who don't file 1040.
Well, that's the thing. The 1099s are a pain in the butt, man. And it took me years to learn that. Like, and there's a lot of different things that Patrick does. But he was the one person that was getting stuff done with the 1099s there for a while. Like, and a lot of people weren't.
Hey, see, I've request for transcript. I've heard about this. Request for transcript of tax return. Heard about that. Then I've heard about this one too. 1040X for people who, one lady I know, she got her money back that she's ever sent to because she opted out using this. 1040X. Where's that W4 sandwich? There we go. Oh my gosh, I should probably download this form W9 because
Well, I just looking on Google, right? It says entity identification number EIN. A 1 in the first position of the EIN identifies the recipient as an organization. A 2 means individual. The next 9 characters are Internal Revenue Service tax identification numbers for organizations or the Social Security number. Now, hold on a second.
what's an 86 number? Was it?
So, all right. So,
How do
hold on. To which the 12
you want to
different
share your
IRS sources
screen?
issued.
Do you want to share your screen?
The first 2 digits indicated what the place where your business was located.
Huh?
Okay.
I think people will want to see it. That's why I'm asking if you want to share the screen. See this bottom thing here?
Hold on.
See this thing right here? It says share screen. I think you can click on that. I don't know. Are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
Yeah. I'm on my phone. Oh, here we go.
Can you just?
Valid EIN prefixes, right? So,
I want to show the people.
so check it out. So, valid EIN prefixes
Wait.
are so.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Hang on.
86 would be
Stop.
Philadelphia.
Ooh, EIN prefixes. Is that what we're gonna ask for? I'm gonna click on it and it's not going. Shoot. Oh, maybe I'll just like.
Well, I did it in Google and it took me on an IRS site, but for some reason you're not. Yeah. So basically, listen,
Oh,
Philadelphia numbers range from
no, I don't want to listen. I want to.
33, 39.
I have to see it. I can't just listen because my brain won't do it. So I'm gonna have to say valid EIN prefixes because seriously, too many words without seeing it, it just sucks. It would be like wah, 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 wah. Okay, now I can unmute you. Go. I'm asking to unmute. There you go. Okay. Found it. Thank you for telling me that.
There are
You see it?
like a ton.
You see
Yeah.
it? See it? Do you see it? I see my 86. It's in Philadelphia. What does that mean? Oh, how much you want to bet? The guru that I did, he signed me up in New York. So that's why it's in Philadelphia, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's why. Okay. So that doesn't necessarily negate or mean that the one I have is not bad. I mean, is not good. I can start with this, the one I have, and then just.
No. It's just listen. It's not that it's not good. It is. If it's a Philly one, it is right. So the point is that I got to go into looking at some aspects of the prefix, right, to find out the differences. There's somewhere where we can find that the difference between like an 86, 87, 88, 89, like why they are numbered that way. Like they differ. So a 98 is not an 86, A 98 is particularly a 98. Even if it doesn't say foreign grant or trust, it's still technically a foreign grant or trust if it's a 9-8 number.
Well, I don't see
right?
an
It could be
89.
called whatever the hell you want to call it.
I don't see an 89 here, just to let you know. Okay. Well, I was just wondering if other people have.
No, I just said like all my so my estate, my banker, and yes, my estate and my banker are 88 numbers. my trust, my irrevocable trust is an 87 number. And my
Irrevocable trust.
foreign granted trust is a 98 number.
They're all from
So I
Philadelphia.
have a 87, 88, 88, 98. So they're all Philly. And I didn't even know that when I did all of them. It just so happens that all
That
the
says
prefixes, it all came.
It says campus, campus location. I don't know what that means though. I know a girl that knows about this kind of stuff. So,
Well,
my trust and I'm
I
90 and it's in Philly. Okay. Cool. Someone on the chat was saying that their trust,
yeah. And so
she's
and
in
then
the Pacific Northwest, is a 98 number, and it's yeah, I see the 98 number here. Okay, so for people who want to get the ball rolling, they just basically have to go on this website, irs.gov, and apply. But one other question.
well, yes, but you really should know what you're putting on there.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you put rural route address for your alive person?
Like, actually, that's the thing. Like, what I'm trying to figure out is how you would do it. Like,
because obviously they're going to put the zip code. There's going to be a zip code.
I was just so ganked on like getting a foreign address that I spent all this time. Like, I got an address in Canada and then found out I was like, oh man, that's Hague. Damn it. So I had to start all over again after I had done this form and I paid all this money to this site and I set up this address in Canada. I then canceled it all.
So you got to
It was
have
out
a
like
non-Hague.
$185, $190.
So it's got to be a non-Hague
So
country.
yes,
Should it be the
non-Hague.
same one
So
that we did the birth certificate authentication on? Or you got to find out if they changed over from Hague, because they could change, right?
Right. And, like, so the
in care of name. Oh,
this foreign granted trust.
Oh yeah, that's good. In the chat, it says in care of name and address in the Republic of whatever state that you want to put. Yeah, I like that better. So if the address is in the Republic of, let's say, California or something, that's foreign to Washington, D.C., then I don't have to lie and say I'm more. Oh, and the long zip. Gotcha.
Well, what you would do, like, okay, so I would say if we're going to try that and not use some foreign address, on the right side of the form, right? If you're looking at the form, on the right side of the form, it says number 3, executor, administrator, trustee, care of, name, right?
Is there a form that we can get here? Hey, wait, stop. Before I mute you. By the way, you have 2 Bible trivia things that you owe me for later. But we don't want to stop the flow here. On this form, IRS here, what if I don't know. What do you ask for? Foreign grantor trust. Not that I'm doing it right now, but I'm just wondering. EIN. What do you?
Yes. Like you are like, so Patrick gave a number, right? But then I also heard the Bad Wolf talking about it, right? There are a couple of people talking about it at the same time, right? So I was hearing it on the one channel, and I started hearing it from a couple other people. So I was like, huh.
Mhm.
So,
All states
like,
reported. Yeah.
like
Yes.
for you on the SS4 form.
What is a foreign
Yeah,
grantor?
bring it up.
Oh, let's do. Okay, so in the chat, I think I know who you are, but
No, forget the 3520.
okay. She's saying all states
That's the long way to do it. Like,
foreign just reporting requirements reminder to US owners. Foreign grantor trust determination. Is that what that one is? Or what? No, I don't think that's what that is. File form 3520
no,
what? So where do you go?
SS4.
Oh, is that what it is? That's what an SS4
Yeah.
is? Oh. And what's an SS5?
SS4 is for all of them. Well, I have SS4 done here, but I mean,
I
I
just
guess you
heard of
can
these.
do an SS5.
All right, let me just, I guess I'll just say SS4. All right, SS4. So these are instructions on how to apply for your EINs so that you can start your trust, right?
Online SS4 application. Yeah. Yeah, click on that.
There's like a state EIN. Now, I heard about this new law for limited liability. Bad thing, January 1st. They're going to ask you to tell us your
Right.
name or you get $500 fine. So just tell people, some of the people that I follow
So
on
trust.
Instagram, they said that they're actually going to be dissolving their LLCs. And yeah, we want to go to the trust, right? Is this the one that we want? Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. Do we want to
Yes.
code on the trust? This is how you start, right?
Yeah.
Do we
Yes.
use this
Mhm.
all caps name?
Well,
of the
that's
name?
newer. Like that page is on it.
Do we come up with our own name, or do we put a business name? Or
Wow. This is like totally weird.
oh, like, here's a person, creator.
Wait. Okay. Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
look at that! Look at that! So this social
Right.
security number.
So trust name. Wait, so the trust name would, Chayah Shalom Trust, or Chayah Shalom Foreign Grantor Trust, right? And then type of Chayah Shalom, right? Type of trust, Foreign Grantor Trust. First name, middle name, last name, suffix, social security number, right? No, you don't put
I'm
that
gonna put my social
there,
security.
right?
There you go.
No,
Now, security number.
you technically don't see. That's the thing. You don't have to put your social security number, but I don't know if you can do it without, like,
Or would you put another
and not
trust?
calling.
Would you put an EIN number there? No, probably not, because then I'm pretty sure it's not going to be good.
You probably could, but no, you just
No, by
nothing.
the time you get down to the bottom, they're going to say perjury.
But it
Something.
put your trust there. Put your trust EIN number there.
Well, no, I'm not. But I'm saying, you're saying when we want to do the second or the third one. Like I see when you get your first one, you're probably going to put that.
Yeah, it's see,
security
this is so weird because this is not the I went online and I basically just brought this up
Yeah.
and then filled it out and then printed it out
Well, this
and
probably be
but
some.
this is
This is probably a third.
totally different.
Some other third-party
So
intervention.
I would be doing the creator grantor name would be the, you know, you,
Oh, oh,
like first, middle, last, like the trust name is going to be all capital. Even if you don't make it that way, they will.
so let's just pretend.
So, like,
I didn't tell anybody my middle name was Princess. Type of trust. It's going to be the foreign grantor one, right?
foreign grantor.
Where is that?
Yep.
Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Do you see it? Like the one I have now is a revocable trust. I mean, irrevocable, excuse me. Irrevocable because the person's dead. And, you know.
Right. Yeah, same here. I'm
Well,
not seeing it there.
me neither. How much you want to bet that this?
I don't see how she's saying, "Oh, I just went online and I did it." Like, I maybe
Well,
it's a
this is
different
probably
one
not
that
the
she did.
IRS website.
Like, I did my EIN, my estate.
I'm pretty sure I clicked on to some other third-party intervener. But okay, so
Ah,
seeing. Ooh, look at that. Unitrust. And but oh wow, bankruptcy of state. Guardianship. Okay. Pooled income
yep.
receivership. Oh, give it to me. Revocable trust, settlement fund, trust, all others. Let me see. Trust all others. Because it doesn't have the one we're looking for, the foreign grantor. I'm not seeing it. Like probably this is not the IRS website. And other people can maybe go on the IRS website, and I'm just kind of going over it really quick. So first name, the creator, grantor. Ooh, I guess that would be me. Do you think it's all spelled
Yep.
lowercase? Optional, and then
Yeah.
name, Shalom. Then the suffix name, no. Social security name.
No.
8675309. Just kidding.
Mm.
It's not my real.
I got it. I want it.
So the trustee
Then
information,
you don't lose that
the
number.
grantor and the creator cannot be the same as the trustee, right? Can't be the same one, right? Right?
Ah, see.
So then,
Well, see,
Eric,
that's the whole thing. You can't put that it's like this should be foreign grantor trust up here, right? So the fact is, oh, you're putting me as a trustee.
yeah, you're
Oh
the,
dear Lord. Okay.
I'm gonna get a new
Hey, that's
RV.
all right. So, two people asked me to be trustee recently. I was like, yeah, man, like, hold on a second now. I ain't that good. I don't know about all that. Uh, 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 uh,
Okay.
I,
All right. So what's your title?
yeah.
Let me see. Trustee. You're gonna be the one who takes care of it all, and you know, when I get my brand new house, then you're gonna pay for it, right? That's how it's gonna go down. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is that how they do?
Rico.
Enrico. Wait, general questions. Has this trust ever received or applied? No. No.
Nope. No.
Yeah, like
You
if
click
you
no.
have, like I
Trust me.
have one, but I don't think that this trust actually
It
applies.
doesn't matter. Every time you apply for a new one, you don't have one.
Okay, because yeah, that's right. We own nothing and control everything.
Just, yeah.
Okay. So would we be doing like rural route?
So care of.
Oh, care of. Okay.
Oh, you could do that. You could do care of and then do your, do your address.
Would we do a rural route?
You could do rural route, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, that would be cool to do. But I don't know. I really don't.
I'm making up an address. Let me say
Now that song is going to be in my head for days.
I'm gonna say
You're
that
killing me.
I'm more at Moore Park. What if
Then
I
you
said
don't change
Morocco?
that number.
What if I said Morocco?
Oh no. Oh my Lord.
I got it. And then we do the 5. Wait, she said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dash. Oh, they're not letting you do it. Only says 5. They're not letting me do the extra,
It won't let you do it?
No. The
Really?
yeah, it just says max.
No.
Max.
Don't do it. No, don't do it online.
Oh, that's why people don't do it online. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. So this is what people download the thing
You're
and
not going to be able to get what you want doing it online.
gotcha. Okay, well that's good to know. Well, that was fun. At least we practiced. We can close that. You sure you don't want to close this? I think so.
Now,
Yeah. Oh, here's
you could go for trying to get your estate. The thing is,
oh, how do we open this thing? How do I stop
you
sharing?
have to.
Oh, stop sharing. Okay, good. You're not eating, are you? No, you're not smacking. No. No, you're not. Okay.
Listen,
take a
I
break.
had
No.
a Fig Newton
No.
and I'm diabetic, so you got to deal.
Okay,
Like
I'll
it's not, I mean, like
Okay,
I just
I'll
had a
deal.
Fig Newton, so
All right, I just had a little shell shock from listening to someone else's live, and the guy was smacking and drinking, and I get you.
yeah, I'm not doing that. We've been on here for like almost 3 hours.
Oh, no way.
So
2 hours.
right, or 2.5, yeah.
Right, well, you do owe me
So
2 of
So
these.
with the estate number, when you get that, you have to declare the Social Security person dead. The goal is to claim that person dead at 25 because that is when your Social Security was supposed to end and
Really?
be rolled into your estate.
Wow.
Yes, that's how it was designed to work. So I couldn't go back to 25. I kept trying and it kept throwing me out. So I was like almost done and I had to keep going back in. Right. So
Are you saying
I
25
think
years
I
from now?
was 28.
Are you saying
I think I was
25 back?
28.
Are you saying 25 years
Like I was
back?
25 years old. No, that I was 25 years old. Not 25 years back. It just, it depends on when I was doing it. If I did it at 50, then yeah, but I did it at like 51 and a half or something. So no. So I was shooting for 25, but I had to do like 28. Right. And then it worked.
Oh, okay.
So then you get the number and you like on the form, it says deceased.
Really?
Deceased date.
Oh, which one is that?
That's when you're doing the estate.
Oh, well, maybe this is already
Right? When you do the estate online, it takes you through its pages. It's not the same as doing a trust. It's different, right? So you have to answer these questions, and you have to tell them, when the Social Security person died. And sometimes they're not going to let you do 25, even though that's when you should do it, because that's when supposedly that person died.
Is that how you can liquidate
Right?
the Social Security? Because they're dead?
Yeah. Correct. Well, that and the fact that it's these chartered accounts. And even though, some people are, they get some bills paid, they get some money, they're sort of doing it. Maybe it's sort of by trust, it's a lot of work. Most people aren't successful and whatever. And they, it's chartered vessels, right? So you're like, wait. I own this. So when we redo our paperwork, right, and we do foreign affidavits, you're like, I'm the American vessel owner, right? I'm
Oh,
all these other things, but I'm the American vessel owner. I'm a Union State citizen, right? I'm an American national
mhm.
in regards to the United States.
Yeah, right. I get that.
However, in regards to everything else, and as far as a civil person, living man is, I'm an American citizen, capital C. So actually, it could even be a small c, because American's capital and it's first. And it pertains exactly to what's being talked about in the statutes at large, right? So then when you read about charters and the laws of charters, right? And then so there's shipping code that has to do with that, which would be Title 46, Chapter 911,
Wait a minute.
Chapter 473.
That sounds weird. Don't you think that sounds weird? Hang on a second. Wait a minute. We gotta
Yeah, no, oh no, 9/11 is totally poignant too. Wait till you read
hang on
that
a
one.
second. Let me see.
Bring that one up.
Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing here. Hang on
That's a doozy, man. Yeah, I read that and I was like, oh man,
a minute.
they said it right here.
Okay, wait. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're doing the what? USC code or what?
Title 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be USC. I'm not sure if it's CFR or USC.
So
Just put Title 46,
yeah,
Chapter 911.
see it right here. When I heard that word or that number 911, I just thought, So I gotta do it again? Section 911?
Yeah, no, it's poignant.
Is it a section 911?
Yep.
I got
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Whoa, look at all this merchant marine, ocean, shipping, maritime, liability, vessels, seamen.
Vessels and seamen, maritime liability, ding, ding, ding. Right? Like,
You know what's kind of
look
weird?
at all
There's
of
a
it.
Puff the Magic Dragon cartoon, and I posted it in a couple of groups. And it has them sailing on a ship to Honolulu or something. But they made little Jackie Paper.
Yep. And wait, you know what's interesting? You know what's really cool?
Uh,
What are ships called?
Mothers? I don't
They're
know.
always women.
Yeah.
Women. They're always women. She's a
Uh,
good ship, sir. She's a mighty fine lass, sir.
I don't know why I can't
Women are always.
find it. What's the deal? I'll try to
So, yeah, like,
46 section 911.
so
Let me
you
just
got all that.
fetching results. Please hold. Okay, let me see. And okay, there we go.
You got
Found it.
uh
Here it is. Let me see. Administrative fund.
473 and 573 as well.
Administrative hearing. Administrative. So what is all this kind of stuff? Like, this is not trust. This is all like commercial stuffs, right? Right?
Shipping
Oh,
vessels right along, and so they all deal with charters.
hey, look at
All
this.
right, it's like that's the reason that there's maritime, right?
New career.
Admiralty is actually supposed to be the actual ships, like the metal vessels on the sea of commerce, the actual sea, right? But maritime is the paper seas, like the commercial seas of commerce, right? And people are the vessels.
Wow.
That's the difference, right? So, like, I can file a maritime lien as in an Article 3 court. I'm dealing with equity, but I'm doing it through maritime, right? Because they're dealing in maritime, and like they're dealing in maritime and then making it admiralty whenever they can. Why? Because admiralty is colorable, because
Interesting.
they can mess with it,
Wow.
right? So,
It's tricky.
like, so they're like, so it's like, I used to think admiralty maritime was just the same thing. It was just different words for the same thing, water jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
But as time goes on, I'm like, yeah, okay, not really. Like maritime is us and all this, and so they deal with us and talk about us like freaking ships. It's also the reason and the way that they cannot give a shit about what they're doing with us. We're just vessels with cargo, and it's cargo that they're using and they own temporarily, right? And then we say, I terminate and liquidate
Whoa. That's
all
wild.
charters and all accounts of all foreign chartered states on this blank day of blankety blank 20 blank blank.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of blank blank, you owe me 3.
You're too foreign herein.
What king ordered?
Okay.
Oh, did I do this one already? What king ordered John the Baptist's head to be cut off? No, I didn't.
Oh, Herod.
Yeah, you got it. It's Matthew 14, 1 through 12. Okay. All right. On the day of Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit first came upon the disciples, how did they begin to speak?
In tongues.
Yep, in other languages. Acts 2:4. You're on a roll. Okay, here's the last one because you cussed 3 times on my little deal here. Who in the New Testament used to eat locust and wild honey?
John the Baptist.
Yes, you got it. Matthew 3, 1 through 4. Okay. So I was just going to open up to any questions that other people
I
have.
mean, yeah,
maybe
just
comments. Because, you covered a lot of really good information.
oh, absolutely.
I think we're going to be able to have enough that we can listen to this again and learn some stuff. But I was wondering if anybody would like to add to what he said or have a question or something. You can unmute if you would like to ask or talk, please. Or does anybody want to answer any Bible trivia questions? KD, do you want to do a Bible trivia question? Ah, I should get the hard ones out. The blue ones are for little kids, I think. You had the easy ones. Okay. Here's one maybe somebody might know. What nickname did Jesus give to James and John in the New Testament? Anybody know? KD, Joe, Tracy, iPhone.
I missed the question.
The question is, what nickname did Jesus give to James and John? Mark chapter 3, verse 17.
Brothers of Thunder.
Yes,
Brothers of Thunder.
Sons of Thunder. Yeah, you got that right. All right, so nobody
Sons of
else
Thunder.
wants to come on and ask any questions or add to our conversation. So I'll probably end it so that we can get something to eat, because I haven't gotten anything to eat and I just got off of work. This was fun. I enjoyed this.
Wait, I'm gonna.
My brother Joe is unmuted.
I'll
If you guys
read
are on later, if you guys are on later, let me know. And I'll share some things as far as drafting a bill and equity bill. If you guys are interested later, I can just post some of the things. Right now, I'm reading the principles of equity, which are maxims of equity, doctrine of clean hands, doctrine of latches. So right now I'm on reading that part, but I can share some of the ways that people are looking to for information on how to draft a bill in equity.
That sounds fantastic. I think I would like to have a separate video of that. And what is her name? Where's she? AP, are you on here still? We would have to ask her because we're using her. Her Zoom.
And just let AP know that right, because right now I'm reading it, basically going through step by step, basically of how to draft a general bill of equity. So it'd be something that I would share with you guys. But like I said, I'm only partway through it. I'm on chapter 4 of the book. So
Oh, I gotcha.
once I get more information, I'll start slowly sharing some of the steps.
Tomorrow be
And if
better?
you guys are interested, just let me know and I can come on and
Oh, I'm totally interested.
share. Yeah, just
Let's do
just let me know. Give me a good time. I'm on the West Coast. I'm on Pacific Standard Time.
me too.
Just in case anybody's on the East or they're ahead of me in time. But I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So again, basically reading 2 books, which is drafting a bill in equity, and then the other book that I am currently reading is I'm dealing with the basically traffic tickets. So dealing with traffic tickets and drafting a bill in equity is basically what I'm reading as far as
Well, that's cool.
equity jurisprudence is concerned. So
Yeah, I'd like to have
I
a
will be on there to share that.
full-on video on that. That'd be cool. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for coming. And
Yeah.
I would love to continue. It's just that I need to eat. Eric needs to eat. And I'm sure some of you are up really late right now.
Yeah,
But hey, we got to get our
thank you guys for sharing.
saying, got to get the beauty sleep here because
Thank you
Shall
guys
I
for
read a
sharing.
little piece from my Bible here before we
Yeah.
go?
Sure, redeem yourself. I'm just kidding.
I have a nice little piece called "Is Logic Arbitrary?" Right? This is my apologetics study Bible. Right? Logic involves principles that govern how humans should think and speak. Studying logic means investigating correct reasoning. Traditionally, logic is said to begin with these basic laws: identity, non-contradiction, and the excluded middle. According to the law of identity, if a statement is true, then it's true. Non-contradiction says that a statement is true, that it can't be false. The excluded middle asserts that a statement is either true or false. Logic includes such laws, but there is more to it as well. People observe various kinds of laws. moral, natural, mathematical, legal, and logical laws. Some laws declare what ought to be. Moral and legal laws say what a person should do, although it is possible to violate them. For instance, people should tell the truth as often, but often don't. Other laws describe what actually is. Natural laws assert what does happen under certain natural conditions. Theoretically, natural laws are considerate and reliable, although it is possible for a stronger opposite force to overcome a weaker force, as in a tug of war. Logic is ought component. This makes logic somewhat like math. It is shopkeeper wants to make a profit and regularly gives $50 in change to customers who pay with $20 bills. She violates logic, but this isn't a moral transgression, isn't a logical blunder. She's not acting immorally, but irrationally. But it's wise to think logically. What is the ground or foundation of logic? Human logic is patterned after reality. The Creator built logic into the structures of the physical and spiritual worlds. The principles of logic reflect a deep reasonableness that characterizes both God and God's creation. Because the logic of human thought and speech is grounded in God and God's work, logic is not arbitrary. People suggest in several ways that logic is arbitrary. Some say logic isn't a discovery of the human mind detected in reality, but an invention of the human mind imposed on reality. They claim that logic is arbitrary because it is grounded in how humans choose to think. The position yields a problematic consequence. It disconnects human thought from reality. It implies that the human interaction with the real world fundamentally distorts that world. The human mind recalibrates the input of the real world to fit into its own inward configuration. So there is no telling whether human thinking that has any connection with reality, that is troubling for life and action, requires knowledge of the real world. In addition, someone stating this position is likely rebutting himself. He is probably saving that truth about the real world, and the human thinking is imposed on reality. Others say that logic is grounded in culture, almost done. It is not in objective reality, different. Cultures have different logics, for example. People commonly say logic is Western invention, that Asians successfully ignore logic. Logic is arbitrary because it is ruled in random cultural habits. This is misunderstanding. While people in various cultures may think about different contexts and begin at various starting points, the deep reasonableness that governs human thinking is the same. Consider an analogy. An African tribesman counts lions. An Eskimo with no knowledge of lions counts seals. Both count according to mathematical principles. Similarly, the context of thought obviously different from place to place, but the underlying reasonableness built into the creation will govern human thought regardless of culture.
Yeah, for sharing. Hey, I just wanted to read this one thing.
It's why I like that book.
Hang on a second. I just see a little comment in the chat. It says, guess who the chief of commerce is? The postmaster general. You know about that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. But things got messed up, see, because when the Postmaster General became de facto, because he became this position on the president's cabinet instead of his original position, So then there's to consider like Russell J. Gould, but I don't know. I just don't know because technically Russell J. Gould would be the de jure postmaster, and the guy that is the current postmaster, because Patrick Devine and followers sent a bunch of stuff into the postmaster, and he couldn't do what he was supposed to do because his position had totally changed when he became on the president's cabinet as opposed to the postmaster general. It was a different position.
And here's one last
yeah.
thought before we end. I'd like to end because I'm getting sleepy and I need to eat something. Okay, so this is from Joe Lapati. Equity jurisprudence, hey, unlike other areas of law, isn't confined by the strict letter of the law. Instead, it thrives on the principle of fairness, addressing where the rigidity of common law fails to deliver justice. The general bill in equity as an instrument of the system is an embodiment of this pursuit of fairness. Keep this in mind. Well, thank you so much, you guys. And I gotta get something to eat because, I'm tired and worked all day. And hey, what can I say? See you guys tomorrow, hopefully. And thank you for sharing with us.
All right.
You for being here. I am very thankful for you all.
Yeah, it was.
Be blessed.
It was a long.
Get your beauty rest. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys. See ya.
All right. Bye.